Okay. So this is getting disturbing, whatever. And when I was at the dollar store today, the girl that I saw before, she had a mask, but she had it down in my little bubble of a town. And then when I went to check out, this is a few weeks back. She pulled it up and she rang me up, and I talked to her and stuff while I was in the store. You can see her face and stuff, and she rang me up, and I just, they had this little window of where you can put your shit because they got this fucking plexiglass crap. And then, when she got done actually doing my thing, she stepped back and once she handed me my ticket, she stepped back and just pulled the motherfucker off. And she doesn't look happy, I could tell. And so today, when I went in there, and the second time I was checking out with actual food stuff. The first time I went in there with cat foods and Purexes and stuff like that, kind of stocking up again for another 6 months round of who knows what the fuck. Big things that because the buggies are on so big. But she 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 was there to take me out the second time, and then she was on the phone on a conference thing with the Dollar General, and the Dollar General here was telling her, and she mentioned some dude to come in. She's like, "Yeah, they're saying we've all got to wear the damn mask. Um, everybody's got to wear them, kind of thing. Just like Walmart, bought through Walmart." Which years and years ago, I'd got Great Value milk, this Walmart brand, at Dollar General, and I was like, well, as many Dollar Generals popped up over the last fucking 10 years, I was like, evidently they're somehow associated with Walmart in some sort of a way to be able to get Walmart brand. I've never saw Kroger brand in there or nothing like that, Berkshire's brands, but Walmart I did see, and it's lower graded stuff that's got kinks in it that's not exactly right, and so they send them out. Whatever. Some point. But she was checking me out after that thing, and I had a couple people back here, yonder, with the masks on and shit. Another girl kind of walked up and was like, "Hey, I can help you over here," because I had quite a bit of shit. And after she got off of that thing, she pulled that motherfucker down and did this. Got a big fucking breath and put it back on, and went to telling me how she hated the thing, and I was letting her know how if you got a medical condition, you shouldn't have to wear it. And she went on to tell me about how the store, the Dollar General store, is like, well, they make you go to the doctor and bring out an actual doctor slip for them. And I'm thinking, well, you're not actually getting retired or nothing. You're working for like $5 an hour. I'm like, they don't have the right to do that, as far as I know. Do they? Don't think? I don't think they have the right. But then she let me know how. I was like, how long is that going to take? I'm like, God dang it! That means you'd be in a store waiting on all this crap, wearing a mask for like at least 2 weeks. Especially with the doctors here, and letting her how absurd it was, and she was in total agreement. And I told her how it was a discrimination against disabled people in a way of that way. one thing leads to another, and a lot of these people around here know their Bibles, and they go to the churches and with all the things that I don't do. But I kind of went off the handle and said, it's not the mask that I'm exactly worried about. It's the step that's following after, which is the shots and the whole Bill Gates thing and how it's changing. You're supposed to skipping the human or the skipping the y'all know the drill. Skipping and straight to human, and it's supposed to be changing your RNA or your DNA. But all that bullshit. And then I messed around and I mentioned the whole it's not gonna, it's gonna get, that's what I told her. I said it's gonna get to where you can't buy, sell, or trade without having a mark on you showing you've had this kind of stuff. And it fucking freaked her out. And she was like, once I said that, I knew she knew that part of the Bible like a lot of us do. And it was just like, she went like big eyed and kind of a bit of shock and said, well, God dang, I hope not. And I'm thinking, I told her, I was like, look around. And I told her I felt for her. But it's an observance. It's a very weird observance being here. And what's happened tonight with my dad is shifted somewhat. He did come over on the birthday. He did sit like 6 fucking foot apart from me. But he was okay with hugs, stuff like that. My house is dirty. He's usually, it's just my dad. Whatever, He's a master mason. Evidently, most of my family has been masons. Not most of them, but key members of my family that are around me have been. My dad, my mother, she was a Northern Star. There's Eastern Star. Eastern Star. That's not Northern Star. It's Eastern Star. Eastern Star. I'm saying Northern Star. I don't know. Doesn't matter. Eastern Star. Never knew that till after she was passed away. Never knew that at all. So there's a lot of weirdness within my family, and a lot of my bloodline goes back to a lot of things. So, like a lot of y'all, there's a lot of weird things when you go back. What's my point? Actually, I had a point. Oh, Dad. So Dad's getting to the point now to where, I told him he's like, what'd you do? Like, well, I went, I got out, went to town, kind of thing. And told him I went in the store, Dollar General. He's like, well, did you wear a mask? I'm like, no, Dad. He is totally in fear of this shit, believes in it, whatever, or playing the part. I don't exactly know what he's doing. But it's different dads I've experienced. So this is a different dad, and this dad here seems to be getting agitated, really quick when I'm like, no, Dad, I didn't know that. And he's like, well, were you the only one in there without a mask? I'm like, no, Dad. There were, other people in there without a mask. When I got my stuff, went out, blah, 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 blah. But what I'm noticing is he's making a point to tell me people I know, and like even my old boss, when I was out at Arsenal and stuff, it's his best friend, and it was basically a family friend that ended up being my boss. And of course, I know you don't. Favoritism is not something that works for me because I like to fuck with people, kind of thing. So you just one of the things, but it's always in a fun manner, a playful manner. But I accept if I fuck up, then write me up, whatever. It's just fine. But don't, I'll call you out on it. And you want to write me up for some bullshit, I'll fucking call your ass out on it. Whatever. I've been retired for a long time. Doesn't matter. But he made the point to tell me, like, this guy's got, ex-boss, he's got these car lots. And he was like, yeah, he's got his signs up telling people to wear their masks. And I'm like, you're selling cars. Whatever. But yeah, Dad is definitely I'm gathering and feeling and hearing on the phone the tension of, like, I'm in the wrong. And he went so far to tell me that, how I'm like, well, the entire world is, anybody that's alive with a fucking soul has not seen this kind of stuff in this time period of where we've been going through this go round. And he's like, yeah. And he said something about America, he was like, about going against the grain, going against the government, going against fucking all this shit. And I'm like, who the fuck are you? What are you talking about? I mean, so it was very odd. And I didn't even mention to him that, when I was like I was in a service, but I was like 20 years old, 19 to 20, maybe very early 20s. And I come home on leave from the Marine Corps, and I sat around a big bonfire. We're burning tires out the river where Dad lived on a fucking houseboat, getting away from Mom and all that shit. And another guy was there, and he had a little shack, thing, and he lived by himself, and there, a bunch of crazy stuff went on. They drove the fucking truck through the fucking big ass fucking bonfire with the tires. Truck caught on fire, got put out, by them rumming around, Want to know if I want to get in that motherfucker? I'm like, hell, I ain't getting in that motherfucker. Then they did all that shit. Then I sat there for 45 fucking minutes while Dad explained to me how man never landed on the moon. He introduced me. You understand? I never felt right, and I saw things in a weird way, but it was like a confirmation to me. So my dad confirmed to me that, shit ain't right, and you're being lied to, and there ain't no fucking man ever landed on the motherfucking moon. So for him to be this way is like a what the fucking flying fuck, for myself. Just observances, just talking about whatever, If it helps, if it don't, I don't know, It's just observances. I'm trying to make our way through these. It's definitely bizarre. Love y'all.